Many times every hour. We'll watch for you all weekend long with a tropical storm Bonnie approaching the Gulf of Mexico right now. Wade Perry from AEA in Mobile County is our guest in studio this morning. First of all, Wade, thanks. Appreciate you coming by.
Appreciate y'all having me.
I told you I was going to ask you about the governor's race in the state of Alabama this year. And I asked you earlier, I said your organization is politically active. And you said yes, you are. In the news cycle that moves as quick as it does right now, the last thing that I remember, and you stop me when I'm wrong, okay? I see the AEA claim that they talked members or encouraged members, even members that are Democrats, to crossover vote and keep one particular person out of office and elect another. Is that right, wrong, or indifferent?
No, I think you pretty much got the gist of it. And
the person that we're talking about is Bradley Byrne. What is it about Bradley Byrne that the AEA does not like?
You know, Bradley based his entire campaign on blaming everything on us except for the oil spill. I mean, I kept waiting for him to blame us for the BP oil spill. And we took a look at that and realized that this guy was just bent on diminishing AEA's ability to represent its members in public education in the state of Alabama. And we took a look at his record and said, you know what, if he can say whatever he wants about us, maybe it's time that we hit back a little bit. And we did, and we hit hard. We pointed out his inconsistencies on issues like evolution when he was on the state school board. He supported the teaching of evolution, and then when it's time to run for office, he says every word of the Bible is the literal truth. Well, you know, you can't have it both ways. And we felt like it was fair to point out his inconsistencies.
Well, and Dr. Hubbard then decided to put together these PACs to come after Bradley Byrne, right? I mean, these were PACs with different names. They weren't AEA PAC. They were a variance of names and came out with an ad campaign against Bradley Byrne.
Well, in fairness, now we're absolutely not denying our involvement in that. We've come out and said we're not hiding like some folks do, but there were other people that contributed to those PACs as well.
And I want to get into that.
Yeah,
too.
I do too. When you talk about the AEA, and we hear the amount of money that was thrown around in this campaign for advertising, television, radio, print, it's a lot of money. Where's that? Does that money come? If the AEA is backing this, does that money come out of your dues that are paid to AEA?
No, absolutely not. All of our political activities are funded by voluntary contributions by the members. There's never been a dues dollar spent on political action with Alabama Education Association.
And there's no strong arm tactic there that if you're a member that maybe you need to contribute here if you care about yourself, kind of thing.
No, we certainly encourage folks to. Contribute to that and explain to them the importance of activism in Montgomery, like we talked about in the last segment. Their salaries, their benefits, the number of teachers at each school are all decided by politicians in Montgomery, so we have to be active in that realm.
And I want to go to the phones here in just a second. Somebody's got a question for you, but this is my problem when you have I can't use an association, all right, that has membership that has state government jobs that gets to vote in state government. I mean,
are you saying teachers shouldn't be able to vote?
Sean? No,
surely not.
It's actually the inverse. It's inverse that when you organize as a group there, and you can directly influence, it would be akin to the Bob's Widget Factory, and the workers in Bob's Widget Factory can vote on who the boss is. Well, of course, what boss are you going to vote in? The boss is going to raise your salaries to a point that the business can't sustain. It seems to be on a long term, if you look at it in a private sense, it's an unworkable model when the folks that work for a business get to decide the management of the business. And essentially, that's what's happened here.
Well, again, what is the alternative given the circumstances? That teachers shouldn't be able to vote in gubernatorial elections?
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that's probably an easy, disposable way to try to shoot down that argument, and I won't take that.
I think it's a direct correlation. I think what you're saying is a direct correlation to that.
See what Ken thinks. Ken's in Mobile. You're on FM Talk with Wade Perry.
Yeah, you guys just asked exactly the question that is my main concern. You've got an organization that's composed mainly of people that work for a government entity, and they're organizing, and they're doing it in secret, and they're throwing their support behind it. How can you say that's ethical? And that you're not even announcing in advance that you're doing this. Or if you to come out and say, we're behind Bentley, we support him. He has his full support. Now, they wait till the last minute. We're doing it in secret. This doesn't seem ethical to me at all. How do you justify that?
Wade?
Ken, I appreciate you calling in. And frankly, we weren't so much for Bentley as we were against Bradley Byrne, and we were really pretty open about it. Starting, a month out, Dr. Hubbard admitted that we were involved in this, and if you have somebody in your family that's a teacher, we print the AEA School Journal every month, and it goes out to 100,000 folks across the state. I don't think we really made a big secret about the fact that we were opposed to Bradley Byrne and doing everything we could to keep him out of office.
Okay, Wade, where's the support go now?
I think that we will focus on the legislative races. Dr. Hubbard told me that we were pretty comfortable with both the gentlemen running for governor.
Well, and that brings, and Ken, I appreciate your call. Leaves the line open at 343-0106. I got to ask this. Let's talk about the framework where a lot of people in Alabama looking at the gubernatorial race, if you'd asked them 6 months beforehand, they'd have said, well, it's going to be Artur Davis and Bradley Byrne. That's been said around.
My money would have been there.
I think most people sat around, looked at that. They seem like the preeminent candidates.
Maybe yours too, Wade. 6 months ago.
I would have bet with Wayne.
Yeah, so we'd all bet the same way. Three guys that pay attention to politics would have gone the same way. First of all, let's start off with Artur Davis. What happened there? Where was AEA's stance on Artur Davis?
I liked Artur Davis.
Right.
I thought he, like Bradley, ran an incredibly poor campaign. I think Artur particularly took his base for granted when he voted against the health insurance plan. However you think about that, I promise you that most of his constituents in the Black Belt supported the...
Yeah, but it's not just... It's West Central Alabama, it's Tuscaloosa, it's Northport, it's that area as well.
Most of Northport's actually in the 6th, I believe.
Okay, well, Tuscaloosa then. Well, give me Tuscaloosa.
Sure, I'll give you Tuscaloosa.
That's not exactly... it's an urban area. A heck of a stadium there. There's a football team that plays there.
Good ball club up there.
Good ball club.
They're okay.
So, you think Artur Davis, it was because he went against the health care plan?
I think that hurt him among his base voters in the Black Belt. I do.
All right, so that leaves, of course, Ron Sparks now. So you're saying there's no endorsement because Dr. Hubbard the other day left the Democrat Party. He said, I'm just going to do AEA. I'm going to work with both sides. So Ron Sparks is not the choice of the AEA? AEA doesn't care if it's Ron Sparks or if it's Dr. Bentley?
We're not going to endorse in that race. No, we're going to focus on the legislative races.
All right. I want to ask you a
lot of questions. You want me to stop it? You want to ask one more question? Let's just stop it. I have control of this machine.
Okay, let me ask you one more question right now. You represent about 100,000 people in the state of Alabama. This state is voted Republican, okay, and has for a long time. So it's safe to assume that you've got a lot of members of your organization that are Republicans. And why is it that when I think of AEA in Alabama, I only think of a Democratic juggernaut?
Well, there are two reasons for that. I think one is what Sean pointed out, which is Dr. Hubbard's involvement has been perceived as entirely Democratic. He was vice chair of the state Democratic Party. And I think that was really to the detriment of our association.
Okay.
And I think that what you'll see is the Alabama Education Association was primarily Democratic when the state was dominated by Democrats. And as Republicans gain more power, we're going to begin to utilize our Republican members.
So it just reflects on your membership.
Absolutely.
Okay.
When we come back, there's a lot of questions. We have a lot of people lined up to talk to you. Wade Perry from the AEA. And I want to ask, too, if at any point Paul Hubbard sat down with Tim James and had lunch before all this got started. I'm going to put you on the spot. When we come back right here at FM Talk 1065, Huckabee Report is next.